Hey guys, welcome back to Bixby's Beer Reviews. Great to have you here again. Today we're going to be checking out a beer from Brooklyn, New York's Non Sequitur Beer. This one's called It's Your Problem Now. That's a New England IPA, and it focuses on the fourth of the five of what I've been calling the big five hops. Those five hops that you're going to see in a lot of New England IPAs, a lot of hazies, anywhere you go. This one focusing on Simcoe hops. Now, not always going to be able to find a single hop beer for the hops I want to talk about on Bixby's Beer Reviews, and that's okay. So this one is primarily Simcoe. It does use a little bit of El Dorado hops too, so we'll be talking about what that combination does, but mostly want to talk about what Simcoe brings to the table here, because it's a wonderful hop. It's a brawny American hop. And one I also sort of think of, along with a few others, as a bridge between the current era of craft beer, which is very focused on hazy IPAs and uses a wide variety of different hops in combination. You're going to see Simcoe a lot there, but it's also a hop that comes from the era, late 2000s, early 2010s, when American craft beer was more focused on, double IPAs, West Coast IPAs, or what you sometimes call American IPAs that focused more on high bitterness.
And since then there's been a massive expansion of the U.S. hop growing industry and a proliferation of hop varietals being grown here and imported from elsewhere. But Simcoe has been a constant feature of the craft beer landscape since then, and there's a good reason it's found a place among this top 5 of hops being used in hazies today.
Very excited to check out the fourth of the 5. We'll be getting to the 5th next week. But in the meantime, let's open this one up and take a look. As you can see, we're using a tulip again today. Always probably the best glass to really experience the aromas and flavors of hop-forward beers. Small programming note, I've procured some additional recording equipment, so this is probably the last episode we'll be doing here in my office. We'll be moving to better digs where you can see a little bit more of the beer, get a little bit better YouTube experience, not be so close to me this early in our relationship. We don't know each other that well. But on to the beer. Again, we got the hazy IPA experience here, the classic New England IPA appearance. You can also see good head retention here, quite a bit of foam, but just, it's a hazy IPA. They're all kind of going to look like this. So let's move right on to the aroma. Now, Simcoe is a very distinctive hop relative to the fruit-forward hops that we've checked out so far. And this one, there's no other word for it but piney. In many ways, Simcoe, to me, this is going to sound a little silly, has the most hoppy aroma of hops that I've come across. Now, obviously, we love hops that bring beautiful fruit flavors to the party, but there's something about a hop that smells foresty, that smells green, that smells almost like pine resin or sap. There's just something about that character that is perfectly in line with when you look at a hop, what you would expect it to smell and taste like, at least to me. So again, huge aroma of pine forest, a little bit of sort of a bitter grapefruit rind in there too, offsetting it slightly. Also, this beer has some El Dorado supporting. El Dorado is a hop that I love quite a bit. It's one that we're going to see a lot here. It's one of I'll just tease this, I'm going to call the next 5. Those are newer hops that are gaining a lot of purchase in hazy IPAs. And that one's also bringing a little bit of orange aromas to the party, which both complements and contrasts very nicely with the heavy pine aromas that come to the Simcoe. So let's give it a taste. So again, this beer is quite different from the fruit-forward beers that we've been trying so far, the fruit-forward hazies. This one really leads with a much more, I would say, somber and intense, risiny, not bitterness, but just hop flavor. Again, there's no mistaking this for a tropical fruit or anything like that. It's also a little bit cleaner. It's not as intense as some of the more perfumey fruits we've had, especially when you get a big Citra bomb, you're going to know it right away because you're going to get just huge aromas of fruit. But here, again, the finish is very clean and smooth with just a beautiful rising kind of snap at the finish. Also for a New England IPA, this one's a little bit lighter. It's not a double, it's a single. I believe it comes in around 5% or so. But again, just wonderful pine, foresty flavors. And so it's like I said, Simcoe is not a hop that you're necessarily going to see on its own all the time, but it's often going to be a hop that you're going to see that complements here El Dorado, a very orange fruit forward hop. You'll see it with Citra a lot of the time. And you'll see with a lot of the more tropical hops that bring fruit flavors, because it's one thing to have all that fruit, but if you can get some nice balance with a pine, you start to get a contrast where you get a lot more interesting flavors. And that's something that I think Non Sequitur has done really, really well here. So hats off to Non Sequitur for leading with a hop that I think gets a lot of work but doesn't get a lot of love. I think they've done a very excellent job here of showcasing what Simcoe can do. So thanks for joining me for this episode of Bixby's Beer Reviews. As always, like, share, and subscribe. Put any comments or suggestions you have for beers you want us to try out down below. And I look forward to seeing you on the next episode. Bye now.